Hello, hello, hello. This is Corey Ritter and Mr. Doug Blake with Personal Trainer Talk. It is 2:00 Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time, and we are here to answer all the personal training questions that have come in. We've got questions, everything from CrossFit training to, working as an independent trainer to nutrition questions, you name it. We've got a great roster today. Mr. Blake, what's going on, big guy?
Dude, I'm just ready to answer some questions. And just so everybody knows, it's not just hot down here in Florida, but apparently it's pretty hot where you're at.
Dude, that is not. Why did you even have to bring that up? So if it looks like I'm sweating, don't worry, anyone. It's just because I am. Actually, in any moment, and probably in about 20 minutes, there's going to be somebody walking behind me. Probably, I've got an HVAC guy on the way. Literally, no kidding you. The air conditioning is the whole thing needs to be replaced. So
it's crazy.
The last few days have been a little bit warm, but I hope to have a new unit installed before the end of this week. So it is a little warm. It's a little warm. I feel like this is like a sauna podcast series. Well, a series would have to be more than one. I don't want to.
Yeah, we definitely don't want you to have to go through this.
Doug, are you ready for Monday? Are you ready for Monday?
Wow, dude, I am just psyched to get going and teach some students. Yes, sir.
Dude, we have an awesome, and I know we say this every time, but we've got an awesome group of students flying in from all over the country on Monday for the 2-week live personal training course. And it is the first group in the new Body Design University Learning Center. And I'm going to say, although it's a sub part of the Learning Center, the kitchen, we literally have our own kitchen at Body Design University now. Yeah, before awesome. we used to every now and then take the students to an Airbnb, and it had a really nice kitchen. And then once that Airbnb host decided to sell their property, we started bringing them to my house. And, and we had a good time. But now at Body Design University, when we're teaching the students all about the exercise science, the business of personal and the nutrition, on the nutrition days, we are literally doing a meal prep demonstration in the first ever Body Design University kitchen.
How do we get pictures of that and put it on our streaming live show other than like doing this with a photo of it?
Well, you know what? I think something that we talked about was installing a camera that pointed into the kitchen.
Oh yeah. Right.
And then streaming something. I think we could do that. That would be really cool. But for now, anyone that wants to learn how to properly meal prep and coach their clients on how to meal prep and get the really good results with your clients during the 2-week live course, we are literally taking the training to a whole nother level. And we have, I've always taught meal prep and obviously calories and macros, micros, but the meal prep demo that we're doing now is in our own kitchen that we're setting up that is very similar to any home kitchen. So it's not like this extravagant kitchen or this big commercial kitchen. We want it to be as similar as possible to a nice kitchen in somebody's home or apartment that they could do meal prep. And we are literally going to teach trainers how to prepare 10 organic meals, all certified, with $50 and here's the kicker, in 90 minutes or less. So let me say that again. Okay. We're going to teach our students moving forward, and we've been doing this for a little while, but now we're doing it in our own kitchen. Literally how to prepare 10 organic meals for $50, $5 a meal in 90 minutes or less. So that's what we're teaching trainers here.
People say we're crazy.
I think, dude, look, when they taste what you come up with, they do think we're crazy. Yeah. They're like, how does this guy know so much about exercise science? And then he literally makes the best.
Are you
fill in the blank that I've had?
Are you kind of showing our hand that I actually do the cooking?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to pump you up a little bit, I'm trying to, I don't need to. You're, as they say, your food speaks for itself.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the truth.
Hey guys, Doug does this number. He does this number when he gets on cooking something, and he loves to cook. He will give you whatever it is that he makes, and he won't even say much of anything. But if you don't say anything, he's like, so what do you think? So what do you think about that? And the reality is that you just taste it. Like, you don't even have to say it. It's almost like the results speak for themselves. Doug's food speaks for itself.
That is the most bizarre thing that people don't realize you can actually cook, right? Tasty food, really tasty food. Just got to know a couple little tips and tricks.
And affordable. That's the main thing. It's like,
and affordable.
It doesn't taste good, or healthy food costs too much. It's just we're crushing a bunch of myths at Body Design University. So anyhow, let's get the show on the road. We got limited time. I know we've got a bunch of questions. And again, excuse me if I have a service tech coming through the back in a little bit, but this is just the reality. He's like,
dude, are you ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's make it happen.
I got a list of questions that have come in this week, and they just keep coming in. So
okay, tell me what you got. Yeah, who's the first person? Where are they from?
Number one is Justin Marley. He's from Dothan, Alabama. Are you familiar with Dothan?
Oh man, I love Dothan, Alabama, because one time, and this wasn't that long ago, I got a call from a gym owner in Dothan, Alabama. And I never heard of the place. And it was a gym owner that was struggling in his personal training department. And he asked me if I'd come take a look. He had heard about the Body Design personal training business system. And I went and I drove. I'll never forget Dothan, Alabama for that reason. I drove to Dothan, Alabama the next day and met with the owner of the gym and ended up developing his entire personal training program and running it for 2 years. And in Dothan, Alabama, and every 2 months I would go there to visit. And Dothan, Alabama. Here we go. Peanut. Hey, just so you know, it's the peanut capital of the world.
Dothan is the peanut capital.
I'm almost positive. Somebody please Google this, look it up. But I'm almost positive Dothan is the peanut capital of the world.
Okay.
All right, we'll look into it.
I don't know, so I'm going to trust you on that. All right, this is what Justin asks. He says, Where should I get information on helping clients with their diets? Oh, okay. That's a good first question. Where do I get information?
Look, not on the internet. No, I'm just playing. But now there's a lot of good information on the internet. To help them with their clients. Look, there's a few really good programs out there. John Berardi has done a bang up job for many years with his nutrition coach program and just his nutrition information. We definitely recommend Precision Nutrition for those that already have their certification, have already gone through our course, and maybe want to learn a little bit more. During the Body Design University course, we have an entire module on advanced nutrition. And our beliefs are in line with John Berardi and some of the other players that do a really good job getting results. But if you're looking for just nutrition, then Precision Nutrition is an option for you. There's several others I'm a little reluctant to mention because I don't know if they're at the standard, really. NASM, of course, our educational partner, does a good job. There's some information there that I think could be very useful for a lot of trainers in their CNC program. But, of course, we're going to recommend Body Design University. If you want information to help your clients, come to Body Design University. And if you want more information after coming through our program, which is not likely because we really go over so much, PN, CNC would be the two that we would recommend. Right.
Yeah, and just keep in mind the NCCA accredited organizations, for the most part, their personal training component, they don't talk a lot about diet, do they?
No, they don't. And see that is what's created an opportunity for John. I mean, I really believe John, I don't know exactly what year, but John sold this company in 2017 for $100 million. I mean, when you sell your company for $100 million, you've you're bringing value to the market and you're doing something really well because people see the value in what it is that you're doing. And so he, he's got this program that is just, it's dialed in. And it explains also the scope of practice and some other methods. The CNC, again, like I said, is another option through NASM. There's several out there. Those are the two that we would recommend. Right. Doug, any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing, of course, is that basically you're taking clients ultimately to the point where they can modify their behavior to eat a certain way. I mean, that's my assumption is on this question, helping clients with their diets. I'm assuming that what Justin wants to know is, how do I help them to eat a certain way to accomplish a specific goal? And that's where we all essentially do the same thing, don't we? I mean, the real.
Yeah, look, the reason why I mentioned about his company being sold for and the opportunity is because the reason why he was able to create that opportunity is that these certifications are not doing it. They never have the personal training certification. And so, a couple of the top players, our partners, NASM and ACE, they've created separate workshops or separate little programs, but the program itself, so that created this opportunity for John and a lot of other people, including us. One of the main reasons that NASM and ACE have partnered with us, besides the business training and the hands-on training that we provide that they do not, it's the nutrition. We dive a little bit deeper in the nutrition component.
Right.
Yep. That's where you want to get information to take it to the next, to the next level.
Yeah. Don't be going on the internet and looking for nutrition.
It's so bizarre now, Doug. It's like and it hasn't been like this ever since we started. You Google, you get information from literally a doctor saying one thing about nutrition, then you look it up and you got somebody saying the exact opposite. So that's a good question that he brings, because what's the right source? Well, you can count on those three sources that we just recommended.
Yeah. Yep. All right,
cool.
Justin. There you go. Are you ready for the second question?
I'm ready, man. Let's do it.
I was going to say number 2, but I didn't want to say number 2. So I'm
Why?
going on to the.
Oh, dude, that's so inappropriate.
I got kids. I got kids and they make fun of me. So, all right. Question number 2.
Okay. I'm ready.
This is from Andrew Hansleys from Jackson, Tennessee. Okay. One of the independent trainers where I work told me that turning my thumb down on lateral raises works the rear delt. Is that true? Andrew.
Doug, I'm gonna let you get into that. I don't think that there'll be a question that will come through here that is just like not something that.
I mean, you know how your clients are. I know.
Put your chin up a little bit too, and that'll build the delts a little bit. Bigger.
I know all of your clients were interested in getting that symmetrical rear delt in there because all of my clients, when they were doing their rear front double bicep shot, my clients were interested in training. Okay, here's the deal, Andrew. Yes, in a sense, yes, but it's not going to be anything of relevance. Your rear delt works no matter what you do. In fact, your rear delt works in just about any exercise you use in your upper body. Even when you do front lateral raises, guess what part of the muscle? Why? Because the rear delt, the posterior deltoid, is part of the deltoid. So it doesn't matter what position you're in. The rear, the side, and the front heads of the deltoid are always going to be functionally operative. The real question is there more emphasis in that area of the muscle? And when you turn or internally rotate, that's what the thumb down means, is you're internally rotating. The answer is yes. Okay, sure. Is it going to make any relevance to anybody that you're training? No. By the way, in fact, what I would say is don't turn your thumb down, because when you internally rotate your humerus and then go into what's known as abduction, lifting your arm out to the side, that's actually biomechanically problematic. The humeral head, when it internally rotates, that immediate, it's the glenal
strain, right?
Yeah, the humeral head by the glenoid into a very poor biomechanical position. Why? When you internally rotate and you go like this, what do? You elevate your scapula, right? You get the idea. So the most advantageous position, and by the way, if you're looking to Andrew, if you're looking to build your rear delts, just lean forward and do some rear lateral raises, right?
Yeah.
How's that?
For rear delts too, one of the exercises that I really like the most, how we'll do the rear delt exercise on the suspension straps, where we go wide.
Oh yeah. The Ys. Yeah. And the Ts. Yeah. Those are great.
On the suspension, the TRX. I love those.
TRX. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. When
I get done, do you notice the difference in the back of my?
I got to tell you, when your rear delts get pumped,
just saying, wait, hold on.
Just
saying.
Wow.
The triceps are coming out.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Andrew, we need to leave this question quickly before
we better keep moving. Dude.
I hope that helps. I hope that helps, Andrew. The answer is yes, but it's not necessary.
Why, Doug? Why?
Don't be doing stuff like this. We always talk about this with biomechanics and trainers. Remember, we came from a world where we lifted heavy, and we lifted in a way to not hurt ourselves and to do things biomechanically correct. And you start to learn that there's improper positions to put, particularly your shoulders. And that thumb down thing is just it's not recommended. In fact, it could hurt somebody's shoulder, and it can cause a chronic inflammatory response, and cause neck pain, believe it or not.
Look, how many exercises do we know, Doug, that could possibly reach the muscle in a different way, but the risk factor and the chances of it being problematic are high enough that it makes, we talk about dips and we talk about, upright rows.
Upright rows is a classic example of that. It's one of those exercises where, just like when you go above, a certain level of abduction, as soon as that happens and you internally rotate, you are putting the shoulder, the glenohumeral joint, in a biomechanically compromised position. And that's because of the shape of the head of the humerus, of the humerus bone itself. It's not, we tend to think of ball and socket joints, right? We think of these perfectly round spherical balls at the end of the bone that fits perfectly in these little perfectly concave. No, and that's ridiculous. There's no joint on the human body that's shaped like that. They are oddly shaped, and they're like that for a reason, because of the mechanical advantages that occur when tendons attach up and over different areas and protuberances, what are known as like trochanters and things like that. It applies mechanical advantage, but because of that, you lose some stabilization in the shoulder joint as well. Yada yada. Are you ready for the third question?
Dude, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
This is from Fred Elsher. I think I pronounced that correct. Fred Elsher is from Statesboro, Georgia.
Okay,
I have
Georgia.
No idea where Statesboro. Where
South somewhere. South.
No. Okay, Statesboro, Georgia. Dude, Georgia. It's a beautiful state.
It is
pretty much wherever you drive through it. So, Fred, how do I schedule a client who also does 1 day of CrossFit during the week?
How do you schedule a client?
What? How do I schedule a client who also does 1 day of CrossFit during the week?
Yeah, good question. So I guess this client may be, doing some total body workout at CrossFit. It really depends on what they're doing over there for that 1 day a week. But generally speaking, the way that I schedule my clients that come to me in a consultation for training to achieve their results is however I want with the client. I mean, just being real, like, no, you're not going to be doing CrossFit anymore. Like, tell me your goals, tell me what you want to achieve, and I'm going to develop a program for you that achieves those goals. I've never in all of my years, and CrossFit started becoming really popular about midway through my career. But I, they kind of hit that wave. I don't know what year was that? 2010, something like that. But I never had a client. I was like, I'm going to go to CrossFit one day a week, and then I still want to train with you. I did have clients, however, that said that they were doing CrossFit, not getting the results, and they wanted to change. So then we trained them differently, and we changed it up. And I'm not saying anything bad against CrossFit. I'm just saying, like, if you're coming to hire me as a trainer, the reason why you're hiring me is to implement your programming. And CrossFit isn't one of those things, especially if I'm going to maintain and manage the client's weight training. It's not like they're going to do weight training, nutrition with me. And by the way, if you want to do yoga once a week, it's no big deal. That's great. Go do yoga one day a week. That'll complement what I'm doing. But doing a CrossFit session likely is not going to complement any split routine that I put them on. It's just not. And I don't want to build my program as their trainer around a CrossFit program. I want to build the whole thing. So I can't say, and I haven't put in the position where I have declined a client for that reason, but I probably would, but I've never had somebody say, hey, no, I want to train with you, but I'm definitely just want to do this one day a week at CrossFit. I haven't had it. So I know a lot of people enjoy CrossFit, and for some people it is a really good fit, but not for the majority of the clients that I've worked with over the years.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. In fact, I would say that could be an actual problem if they're continuing to do that type of training and now they come train with me.
Sure.
Because the type of training that I'm doing with them, depending on how many days a week they're training with me, they could severely overtrain, even get injured, depending on what they're doing at CrossFit.
I'm not going to bash CrossFit, but I do want to say this is that I could count on one hand how many scenarios where they wanted to continue to do CrossFit. There's not enough fingers or toes on my body to count the amount of people that literally told me that they were injured at CrossFit and still want to train, but want to do it in a safer way. I mean, I'm just telling you, like, that is the reality. And I know a lot of my friends on here that do CrossFit training. They're like, oh, why are you bashing CrossFit? I'm just telling you that, like, that's been my experience, is that I've literally have had a number of people. I'll never forget this one woman, Doug, that came in. She was literally in her early 50s. Okay. She had not exercised in like 20 years. And she's telling me this story. She had not exercised in like 20 years, decides to get some exercise, stumbles across CrossFit, goes into a CrossFit. The trainer does not do any type of assessment, does not even ask her about her exercise history, doesn't ask her anything. And she was healthy. She didn't have any injuries. On the very first workout, box jumps. This is a woman has been sitting at a desk for 20 years, has not exercised, and he had her doing box jumps. And you can imagine what happened. And so, she got hurt, and it took her a year to recover. I told her I was just so thankful. And again, look, this is not everyone's experience at CrossFit. Okay. I'm just giving you a real world experience. And this woman, it took her a year to heal from that, but she never gave up. She said, I want to try again. I just want to do it safer. And she knew that it was going to cost a little bit more to do personal training. And at that time it was one-on-one. So,
So Fred, the answer is you don't schedule a client who's also going to do one day of CrossFit. The idea is that if you're the trainer, you are now assuming responsibility over this individual's exercise and nutrition. If they're going to do that, their nutrition plan. But I'm the same way. The training is what I'm going to do with you. And it's based on assessments. It's based on all the other variables that are going to be brought into the relationship that I have with the client. So look, we have folks that actually will, I remember way back when, where folks would be training at a Gold's Gym or another gym, and they'd be like, well, it only cost me $25 to train there, and me, whatever, to train with me. It's more affordable. Can I just train with you like once a week and then train the other days, and you just give me a workout? Because look, no, that's not generally how I work. That's just not how I'm going to do this. I'll train you once a week. And I would expect you to do some other things on the other days of the week if you can't afford the service. But the answer is no, do not be doing other structured programs and then expect you as the trainer to participate on their schedule, because they wouldn't, again, CrossFit does what they do, right? They do very specific training, very specific exercises.
Yeah. And you know what the thing is, Doug, is like over the years, I know you've experienced the same thing, but my clients, they really like me taking control over their training, so they don't have no thought. They don't have to think about it. And I think it's not just that they don't have to think about it, but that it's important enough to me that I have a complete grasp on the activities that they have going on throughout the week, and that those activities that I am controlling are going to produce the best results in the safest fashion, in the least amount of time. And I think the clients over the years have appreciated that body design and other trainers have cared enough to do that. And I think trainers out there that are tuning in right now, they know what we're talking about. Clients, right. They want to turn it over to you. They want you to, could you imagine, okay, we'll train 2 days a week. Well, whatever you want to do on those other days, or you could do that on Friday. And then I send them to a CrossFit. It could be anything, could be even another trainer. It could be another trainer. So we're not saying just CrossFit, but I don't know what that trainer is going to do. I don't know what exercises they're going to select. Right. I don't know what it could conflict with the programming that I have for that client and training the same muscle groups. I mean,
yep.
No.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yep.
Yeah.
So Fred.
Go, buddy.
You need to contact us, Fred, if you're having issues with that. Okay. Next question. This is from Marcus Amante from Chicago, Illinois. Chicago. Okay. A little up north. Okay. So hang with me on this one. I transitioned to online training during COVID, and he says actually like it better. So transitioned to online training during COVID. I gave all my clients a discount due to the lockdown, but was wondering how to start charging more. Okay, so
I would love. What's their name?
This is Marcus Amante.
Marcus. I would love to talk to you about this live on this podcast. If you get the link, and if you're out there listening, click the link, join us, because I'd like to know what do you like more about it. And then once you tell me what you like more about it, I can help you understand the best way to scale. But if you do, I think that's what he said, right, Doug? He likes it more.
He actually says he actually likes it better doing online training.
Yeah. So that's great. What are you doing? Are you coaching? Are you high ticket? Are you low ticket? These are the things that we would want to know. How do you charge more is based upon the modality and the system that you're using to literally train online. So there's generally three main programs. It's the coaching, the weekly coaching accountability, okay, that you can offer. There's high ticket where you develop the entire program, and then the clients go through it kind of self-paced. They have accountability check-ins, but it's mostly done on their own, self-paced. And then there's the low ticket where you don't have any engagement at all. So I would like to know what type of online training you're doing. But in all those cases, there's usually a way to increase the price and be able to become more profitable and provide your clients a higher value. So they want to pay more. But it differs. It differs a little bit on, which one of those. So if you select, for example, I'm just going to give you an example. If you're doing weekly coaching and accountability, your inventory is limited by your time. So you have to be very careful on the price point. But generally speaking, you would grandfather in that scenario, clients in that you have right now. You would grandfather those clients in at the price that they're paying, but then new clients coming aboard would pay the new rate. So let me give you an example. If you're charging $199 a month for online training and coaching, those clients that are currently with you, they continue to pay that. And the only time that I would change that is at the beginning of the year. If you want to make a price increase, do it at the beginning of the year. Other than that, I've always believed, and I've been doing this for over 20 years now, I've grandfathered clients in from the very beginning. I mean, literally, we have clients in our business right now that have been paying us hundreds of dollars a month at the same rate, let's just say $300 a month for over 10 years. And it doesn't matter what our price goes to, even if that same service is now $600, I think that's a good model. It's worked for us. But the bottom line is that the new clients, so you're coaching weekly accountability, $200 a month, $199. New clients that you take on is $249 or $299. Okay. And you provide some more value. If these clients, for whatever reason, if there's something additional that you want to provide, you can give the existing clients an option to upgrade. I don't have any issues with that. Say, hey, look, you're going to get this additional service for, and it could be a weekly check-in. It could be a weekly nutrition, workshop type thing that you do online. There's a lot of ways that you can do this, but that's just an example. If you're doing the weekly coaching, high ticket and low ticket really has to do with the advertising program that you're using and your client acquisition costs. So you can increase your price, but that right product, right market, right fit, the whole thing, it's got to be in line to work with your pricing for the high ticket and low ticket. But if you come on here, we could talk about it more specifically. But those are some examples. Did you
find that, because I've heard this a pretty good amount, the idea that trainers had transitioned to online training, but he said he gave him a discount. Have you heard that? Did you hear that trainers were doing that? I was kind of
look. No, generally,
I was kind of surprised that.
Yeah, a lot of this is what we do as trainers. Not all of us, but this is what we do as trainers. Okay, we are service people. We want to help people. And so in our minds, we tell ourselves that they're getting less value, because they're not coming in person. So I should charge them less. Yes. Tons of trainers dropped the price and then took it online. But the trainers that are killing it and the clients that are killing it, they kept the same price. Like literally, you're paying me $400 a month for training twice a week. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. And that could be small group training. You go online, you're paying the same $400 a month. I'm just going to figure out how to give you the value each week and each month. So you want to continue to pay that $400, but Doug, and I've shared this on this talk before. I like high ticket. My personal favor is obviously in-person training. That's it, just in-person training. But if I was going to do online only, and right now, we do have an online training business, high ticket is scalable. And the reason why I think people leave in-person training is to not have those scheduled appointments. I don't think they mind going into the gym. I think it's just showing up to the scheduled appointments at 5 a.m. and on all these different times, training at night, doing a split shift. What are they trying to get away from that? Well, for me, why am I going to do weekly coaching calls and accountability calls if I'm trying to get away from a set schedule? That's why high ticket, when I decided, okay, what's the best bet for our online training program? How are we going to do this? And this is now also with the university with, thousands of students. A high ticket makes sense because we can take the time out, put together the curriculum, the agenda of what I want that client to learn, pre-record it so they can go through it at their own pace. If they want to gobble it up and consume all the content in a couple of weeks, great. If they want to do an hour a week and do it over a period of time, great. But the scalability of high ticket is huge. And so, and with that being said, it really depends on what you want to do. Like some trainers I know, like I talk to now, they want to do high ticket because they want to talk to the clients every week. And other trainers that I meet with, they're like, no, I want to put together an awesome program. that gets the client's results. They pay for it one time, and then they can enroll 100 clients a month versus having 25, 30 clients, whatever it is, on a coaching basis.
Right. I would be interested in knowing how many clients Marcus is talking about, because you actually said something that made sense in that he says he transitioned. I gave my clients this. How many clients? Did he have 5 clients or did he have 20 clients? And what you're just saying now is that the scalability part of this, actually, Marcus wouldn't have to do anything with his existing clients. They're grandfathered in, but he could actually now start almost a new component to his online business that has new prices, perhaps.
Yes, absolutely. But again, for everyone listening right now, it depends on what you want to do. I've got some trainers. They don't even, not only do they not want to have a weekly call, right? Some of these, and I'm not just talking about, fitness celebrities or, these massive ambassadors and promoters, to average people too. But some trainers that I meet with and that come through the course, they not only do they not want to show up to a gym and train the people, not only do they not want to give weekly accountability calls, not only do they not want to talk to them that first time, they don't ever want to speak to a client. Like, they don't want to do it. And so low ticket for those trainers that just want to post fitness photos, and they have to create a low ticket offer. And generally that's less than a couple $100, and it's not customized to the client. The client goes onto the website and they purchase it on their own, and it gets automatically delivered. Hey, look, Wave, I told you I was going to have a guest here helping me out with HVAC. You're all set. If you go right to the, yeah, thank you so much. So that's the reality of, the different training options. There's all different training options. And it really, for me, I think when a trainer picks the online or in-person training, look, there's some trainers that should not be doing group training.
I was just going to say
small group. There are some trainers that should not be doing small group training. And there's some trainers, they should only be doing small group training. One-on-one is not a good idea. But at the end of the day, you see my hand? I think that's the right number. There's only really about 5 options. There's really only 5 options when it comes to personal training. Sometimes we make the business too complicated. In our industry, there's 5 options, right? There's one-on-one, there's small group, there's weekly online accountability, there's high ticket and low ticket. And that's it. These are the 5 models in all the time that I've been in this industry that I've seen successful. And which one should you do depends on how you want to live your life and what you want to do. Do you want to do online? Great. Here's how you do it. If you want to do in-person, great. Are you a good leader? Do you want to coach people and motivate people in that way? Do you want to do one-on-one? Do you want to be slow, methodical? So come on the show, talk to us. We'll, or better yet, come to our live course and we'll walk you through, and we'll help you figure out what is the best lane, because everyone's got a lane to travel in. They just got to know which one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice plug on that one. I like that.
You like that? Was it discreet?
That was pretty good. It wasn't discreet, but it was still good.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Nicole Brown is from Atlanta. What's this guy's name, by the way?
I'm sorry. What was your name? Ken. Guys, Ken. Everyone wave and say thanks to Ken.
Thanks, Ken. Ken, how we doing? Hey, look at him.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'll follow up with you as soon as I get wrapped. All right. So what do we got? What's the next question? Who's it from? Where they at?
Nicole Brown is from Atlanta, Georgia. So
okay. From Atlanta, Georgia?
From Atlanta, Georgia. Nicole Brown. Okay.
What do we got, Nicole?
How much do you suggest charging for an initial consultation?
Look, that's a great question. So many trainers have asked it over the years. Zero. Look, at the prime of my personal training career, I'm doing a weekly segment on CNN. Okay. I've got a YouTube series back before, YouTube was a big thing. I think I was one of like 100 trainers on there at a time. I am getting flooded with leads. I'm talking about, like, I have so many leads coming in that there is no way for me to even reach out to everyone. At the peak of that period, as I just explained, I didn't charge for any consultation because I wanted to be able to, a lot of reasons. Okay. When I first started, I was begging for consultations. I would have done a consultation with somebody at the gas station if they would have given me the time. While I was pumping my gaps, somebody asked me what, in the back of my shirt, it said personal trainer. They asked me a question. I just wanted to get them in for a consultation because I had no leads and I had no results. So people didn't know me. But when I got to that point, I would do consultations. I would also want the opportunity to know that this person is not a good fit. You can't please everyone. And so when you don't charge for consultations, one, you lower the friction of somebody doing business with you. Okay. And so they'll schedule it and they'll do it with you because there's no fee. They've got really nothing to lose but their time. But when you get really busy, you think, well, I could charge for them. People will be willing to pay. Yes, you can. But what if you charge somebody for something, but then you figure out that they're not a good fit? Okay. You figure out that one, maybe they feel like they are, but it's not a good fit. Or maybe, you don't have the time slot available. There's a lot of variables. I have just never found it to be a good business model to charge for the consultation. And I'm telling you, like, I've worked with some trainers over the years that have like hundreds of leads coming in a day, some trainers. And so they could easily charge and they still wouldn't. They would have a criteria, and we create filters as far as who's able to schedule for a consultation. We pre-qualify, but don't charge. I've worked with a lot of trainers and I've been in this for a while, and we've never charged for our consultation, and it's always worked out well. I think when you have a good product and you have a fair price, okay, your consultations will convert at least 20%. And if you convert at least 20%, you're going to make money, as long as your price is right. Okay. It's not too low. 20%. And if you get really good, 50%. If you get really, really good and you filter these out, I've seen some trainers maintain 75% closing ratio. So, you don't need to charge. They're going to pay you $600, $700, $800, $900 during the consultation. You don't need to charge for it. So that's my opinion.
You know what my closing ratio was? So it was 100%. You know why? Because I only chose people that wanted to train.
Right. Dude, you're one of those. You were one of those trainers, weren't you? That I talk about.
Was one of those. Yeah. It's funny. I always think of the initial consultation. Because I remember we've had students obviously that come through that are already training people. And like, well, it's an hour of my time or it's 45 minutes of my time. And I sit there and I think, well, what if when you went into a retail shop, they charged you $5 just to get in the door, and you don't even buy anything when you go in?
It doesn't feel good, does it?
It doesn't feel good. I'm not saying that of obviously an hour of your time, but that's just that is not an effective way to sort of set up the paradigm of your business. The paradigm
let's confirm for them too, Doug. It's not the consultation, just so you're telling us, like, the consultation is not coaching them on what to do. But just make sure that we're talking about the same thing, because some people might be thinking it's a consultation to set them up with a meal plan and exercise. Just so you guys know what Doug and I are talking about. And as he's speaking, it's like, we're talking about a consultation to do business with you. That you're not providing them a solution during the consultation. You're providing them the option to hire the solution.
There you go. Yeah,
right?
That's right. That's true. I guess, Nicole, if she's talking about the initial consultation, I would assume that that's what we're talking about, which is you're asking if we're going to actually develop a relationship, and then we can do that on our first workout. But the initial consultation is just that first line of communication as to whether or not you're even going to pay for your services. I am not charging anybody any money. I don't care how long it takes me to go through that with them. Yeah. So
no, I agree.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Good one, Nicole.
100% closing ratio, huh?
You're in Atlanta too, Nicole. Just saying.
Atlanta. She's in Atlanta.
She's in Atlanta.
Are you sure that's not one of our past students, Nicole? What? Remember Nicole? She was awesome.
Nicole Brown. Is that one of our?
No. I'm thinking Nicole, her last name starts with a D, but anyhow, we can't say that on here anyhow.
Yeah, let's not.
Okay. All right. Who do we have next?
Next question is from Jennifer Robles, Robles.
Okay.
Robles.
Jennifer, what's up, Jennifer?
Jennifer, she's from Flagstaff, Arizona.
Okay.
Flagstaff, great place. Love Arizona. Okay. One of my clients just got pregnant. What is the timeline for safe training? One of my clients just got pregnant. What is the timeline for safe training?
I mean, look, in all the time that I've trained, it really depends on what you're doing. And you always, revert to their doctor, and whatever their doctor, let them definitely be the deciding factor. But I don't know. Let me ask you this. If somebody finds out they're pregnant, can they walk? Can they stretch? I got to make a living and I could bring value. Look, if somebody I'm training says, "Oh, I'm pregnant." Okay, great. Let's go see your doctor, see what recommendations they have. Just let them know that we can, during this time, we can stretch during the sessions until we get past their first, trimester, whatever it is. We can walk. We can do a lot of little things that can be very beneficial during the process. I always would try to find ways just to work with the client to bring some value to their life and to their fitness level without losing them for any period of time after they pass. And Doug, I don't know, you would know this better than me, but after they pass a certain period, then, we're training at intensity levels that are very similar. I usually have them wear a heart rate monitor. Okay. But, we're just not going to take the heart rate up that much. Usually I would keep it below 70% of their max heart rate.
It's funny. It's funny with pregnancy because that's called a special population, right? So you have all these disease state people, right? And then you've got pregnancy, and pregnancy fits into a quote special population. The beauty of it is for pregnant women is that it's always going to be sort of sensitive to what they're experiencing, what they're feeling, and what their doctor is going to sort of recommend. So again, for the trainer, you and I both know this. Look, I would much rather have a medical professional that actually knows what they're talking about give me the guy. I would much rather have them say, look, what we do know, Jennifer, here's what we do know is that pregnant women go through some very interesting physiological changes, not just the growth of the baby, but because of the increased levels of estrogens and estradiol, progesterone, these other hormones, it actually softens ligaments and connective tissue, which is a normal physiological process. And that's one of the reasons why, look, what about you? I've had clients, literally train with me with resistance training. Crazy all the way up. My wife trained, up until she had to.
I've got clients. I've got pictures of clients. I've got this one picture of a client, Jacqueline, that 3 days later, she gave birth. Like she's in there doing unilateral lunges with dumbbell, and literally 3 days later, she gave birth. So I am a huge Shelly. I can go on client after client. Jita, what about Jita? Look,
right.
We've got so many clients that have trained consistently over the period of time. And one thing we are huge supporters of, again, when the doctor green lights it and there's no special circumstance, that exercise during the entire pregnancy just provides such a better experience. And clients bounce back. What we have found time and time again, and I've heard this directly from the clients that have had multiple children, the clients that would exercise before, during, and after pregnancy, once they deliver within weeks, their body is, it's got a good amount of muscle on it, and that the weight just drops back off, and they feel really good again, and it just provides a better experience for them, sleeping and energy and all that good stuff.
So exercise is pretty much one of those things that you can do. It's just obviously the modality, resistance training needs to be.
Well, what's the time? What's the time, Doug? What part of that question was, I know there is a period where once they find out that they're pregnant, there is a period where they kind of wait sometimes until a certain period before they start to actually train. Now, I've had clients that have told me that they're pregnant, train the entire time.
Sure.
But there
is no general consensus, because it's a moving target as far as the physiology of the actual patient. But here's what's interesting is that, again, this is a very general statement. How long have you been pregnant when you actually found out you were pregnant? See, this is always very interesting. It can be anywhere up to a month, where right? Because if a woman was supposed to have her period on the 15th of the month,
right,
and it's the 5th or the 6th or the 10th of the, it may be another 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks before the test is actually done. They go, yay,
that's right.
I'm pregnant. And it's like, well, you've actually been pregnant for probably 3 weeks, or if not a little bit longer. And then from there, I'll tell you what, it's almost like any other person, which is that, what kind of condition were you in when you came to me and you got pregnant? Young women that are already fit and healthy. Yeah, man, you can literally train people up 6 months, 7 months, even. I'm just saying that I've not only done that, but like you've trained people right up to that day. I've also had clients that, literally 3 months in, 4 months into registered, the pregnancy was registered at that point, they had to stop for any number of reasons. Like I say, Joy had, remember Nadia? I don't know if you remember, but when she was pregnant with Nadia, Nadia wanted to come out real early, so she had to go on a drug known as Pitocin, which is basically relaxes the
right.
And she was basically bedridden. But my wife was a bodybuilder. She could have trained. Man, she could have trained and then literally got up, had the baby, and come on. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, there are some women, like you're saying, that could literally go second trimester or even further. It just comes down to generally what their physician is kind
of. And
what,
I have found some variables between the doctors and what they would recommend. But as a trainer, look, it's outside of our scope of practice. Always have them ask their doctor. And but most doctors today all support exercise throughout the process.
Exactly. And they will let you know, just keep the resistance training at a certain point, keep the resistance training,
the heart rate
and heart rates to a more modulated scenario, because once again, and isn't it interesting, because now we talk about the same thing with biomechanics. If I'm doing a dumbbell curl under normal conditions, and I go down a little bit further than is, if I lock out, maybe it's not that big of a deal. It's never recommended, but you can get away with it. Not when you're 6 months in.
Right.
No, because believe it or not, that individual, the pregnant woman, could actually cause an acute injury because of the physiological changes that have occurred now to the connective tissue. So those, it's really, really pretty interesting. But Jennifer, there you go. How's that?
I tell you what, I've always loved to, Doug, for all the trainers out there that have this experience too. I always loved training the women that were pregnant throughout the process, and then having them heal and come back and train strong, and just experiencing that whole thing. It's always pretty wild how the human body works. You know?
Yeah.
So,
yep. Agreed. All right. So next question is from Miami, Florida.
Miami.
Robert Hubert.
What's up, Robert?
How do I create an Instagram account for my business? Oh boy.
How do you create it for your business? Just go on the Instagram, dude. It tells you everything you need to know on how to create an Instagram. Go on there. If you set up a regular Instagram account, then it has a little option to create a business profile. Click the option. It can, if you have an existing one, I think you could start one out of the gates too. But if you have an existing personal, you can convert it to a business, and you'll see the different options between the two. But Instagram provides some good information on how to do that.
So you go into Instagram, and it'll tell you everything about how to.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I started my Instagram account, and again, Doug, you know this, I stopped posting on Instagram almost 2 years ago. I literally we do it for the business now. Don't don't get me wrong. If I was still actively personal training, I have a personal training business and I have trainers, but I don't literally train. I would definitely still have Instagram, be posting on a regular. But with that being said, when I originally set it up, I set up an Instagram on the thing. And then I was on there before they even had the business accounts. Then they gave the option to switch it over and convert to a business account. So you convert it to a business account, and that's the account that allows you to advertise. And the only reason, like, look, I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care if you like, the only reason that you would use the Instagram as a personal is to be able to run ads. I mean,
how much does it cost?
I mean, to run ads, you can have a budget as little as I think they go as low as $5, like $5 a day. So you can literally spend as little as $5 a day and maybe 10 now, but and then scale it up. When I first started spending money on Instagram, I remember spending like $10 a day. It was like $10 a day. And you do what you can with what you have. And we made it work. And then, we went to $50, then we went to $100, $500. And, I think we've capped right around $1,000 a day on running ads on Instagram. And, I would not have one, but the better place to figure that out is just go log right into Instagram. Just Google search Instagram business profile. That's easy. Those are just settings. As far as what to write on there, that's the question that you want to ask me and Doug. What to post on there? What kind of photo? What kind of copy do you want to write? The hooks, the story, the offers, the captions. Come back on and ask a question like that, and that's our expertise. But just go into Instagram and set up a business profile. You could do it pretty quick.
And Robert's in Miami, so that's a
look, Doug. I think what would be appropriate is for us to show them how to do that in person, like
you hear that, Robert?
On South Beach. Like, I think he needs like personalized instruction, and I think maybe the IRS would agree that that would be a business expense.
Yeah, I think he needs to DM me, just to direct message me on that one. And
you're not all that far.
We'll get.
I mean, coming from Atlanta, I've got a little hike, but you're what are you, like 3 hours? How far are you from Miami?
Roughly, about 3 hours.
2.5,
somewhere around there. Depends on if you're driving or I'm driving, of course.
Are you still going down to Miami Beach every now and then in the Speedo?
Dude. Hang on a second. I just got a visual of myself in a Speedo, and it's not a pretty picture. But look, we got time for one more. Come on now.
Okay, real quick.
Anna Strauss is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. How often should I schedule assessments for clients?
How often should I schedule assessments? Great question. Personal trainers of the world, monthly. Schedule your assessments on a monthly basis. Weekly is too soon. Don't even have them go near the scale. I know some trainers feel different. I do not. My opinion is simply, and Doug's, because we share the same core values. At the end of the day, we don't want the clients to be focusing on the scale, the number. We're going to be changing their body composition. Yes, if they have weight to lose, we're going to get them to lose weight, and the scale and the number should come down. Okay. And it will come down, but we want them to set monthly goals. And there is even some months where the dial doesn't change that much, but to look at it on a weekly basis, not a good idea. Monthly is what we found to be the most effective for not only clients that want to lose body fat, but gain muscle. That would be our recommendation. And to make sure that you give them that feedback.
You got to have consistency in systems. What do again, you got to think from a business perspective. Make things simple, make it easy. Is it going to make a difference? If it's 5 weeks or just do it on a monthly, because you do everything else from a monthly perspective. Yes.
Yeah.
We bill on a monthly basis. We do this on a monthly basis. Is it perfectly physiologically ideal? Who cares? It's not.
Yeah. Be as close as you can.
I don't know. Just it's consistent, and just make sure that your systems are set up so that this becomes just a regular practice every first day of every month, or whatever the case, whenever you're doing it. So,
yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. We appreciate your questions coming in from all over the country. We enjoy sharing this information with you guys. If you ever want to join us live, know that there's a link somewhere. You could always join us. But another great week. Doug, any words of wisdom for them?
Wow. You always ask me that question and I'm always just I go blank. But the
Dude,
answer
I give you a week to prepare every week.
But the answer is yes. I really like some of these questions that were asked. Look, get consistent. Make your business systems a priority when you're talking about things like assessments. Make your systems a priority. It's going to help you more than you could ever imagine.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Just remember, keep it simple. Okay, we'll see you next Wednesday, 2:00.